The realest, best podcast in the game.
Thank you, because I didn't know why. I was like, what? What's happening?
Is it raining?
Yes.
Yes, it was raining on the way here.
It was? I was watching that podcast.
You was watching while you was driving. You didn't realize how many
Well-
times you hit the windshield wipers.
Nah. Subconscious.
And this is my ride home.
Well, I wasn't like...
He was your ride here and you here, so.
Right, yeah. You breathing? You made it in one piece. But I wasn't like literally watching as I was driving. You know, you drive, you go to a stoplight, and you watch. You drive. You may peek down every now and then, but you know, you still...
What was they talking about? They were talking about like Eric Snowden and then other names that might
Mike
ring in the same
Pompeo, the guy that was being
people.
interviewed as a former FBI agent, and they were in the same West Point class together. They were roommates at West Point. So
the guy who was talking?
Yeah.
The guy's podcast was?
No, the guy who's...
Was it being interviewed?
Yes.
Okay.
And so they were talking. The guy whose podcast it is was saying why he doesn't really like Mike Pompeo and some of the things he says.
Who's Mike Pompeo?
He was a former Secretary of State and the former head of the CIA, and he might be running for president in 2024.
When did he stop being? When did he stop being the head of the FBI or CIA?
He was Secretary of State when Trump was in office, so probably sometime around there. But yeah, he was saying, because Eric Snowden, I guess, was a whistleblower or something.
Mm-hmm.
He was the one who let everybody know that the government's spying on you through webcams.
Yeah, he's
so
responsible for
he
WikiLeaks.
said that Eric Snowden should be executed.
Mike Pompeo said that.
Yes. Wow. And then it was some other stuff about some guy.
Of course he would.
That
He's the head of the
for WikiLeaks, and he was being held up at the London embassy, and apparently WikiLeaks got some from a source, or he put it out or whatever, and Mike Pompeo was like, whoever did it should be charged for treason or some another, I don't know. But yeah.
Well, of course, anytime somebody wants to reveal,
I have to go back and tell you in context because I'm just summarizing, but yeah. I like those type of podcasts.
Is about what exactly?
Well, this guy, he has his podcast and he just brings people to interview, but I like to watch when he brings like former government people, because because the first episode they talked about like 9/11 and Al-Qaeda.
Yeah. Al-Qaeda because you're American.
Yeah, and they was talking about them and how he interviewed some criminals and stuff like that. I just like that type of stuff. Like Queens Flip the Script. They got a podcast. They interviewed a former FBI agent who I
thought you were saying people like Queens Flip.
No.
I say, yeah,
He
interviewed
an former FBI agent. That's how I found out about Wayne Perry and Alpo and all of them. R.I.P. to Alpo. Well, never mind.
He beat me to it for like 2 seconds.
Is that bad?
Not really,
but bad.
But I said, well,
I mean, you don't know him.
It just depends on where you... I mean, even beyond knowing him, it just depends on where you stand.
Well, R.P. Rich
on
Porter,
the
how
line
about
of
that?
people's lives, and
yeah, I guess.
Like, to what extent you carry your values. Like,
I'm trying to figure out why they wait so long, because he's been... Like,
he was still in prison. He got out of prison like 4 years ago.
But I mean, he was outside, though, in Harlem.
Yeah, but not, as small as places are, they're also pretty vast. It's not easy to just, like,
find
run
somebody.
into someone willing to kill you every day.
True.
Like, if it was that easy, nobody would ever make it a week. Cause
I seen something on the Shade Room or whatever it was that somebody was doing the deal or something, so they met up in front of a Chicago police station.
Yeah,
and he still got robbed at gunpoint.
Yeah,
it's 100% his fault.
In front of the police station.
Very
like, how does that even happen?
It's really easy.
Yeah, it's really easy. Because, like, think about it. How many people get
caught is if someone's coming out.
Yeah, or coming in.
Not even, because the majority of police don't come in through the front. They park in the police lot and come in through the side of the back.
They should have did it inside. If he was smart, he would did it inside the police station.
He's doing a deal, bro.
Or what kind of deal was they doing?
Probably not one that was legal.
Yeah, he got robbed. It wasn't like
he was. I mean, it could have been legal.
I mean, yeah, it could have
been.
been like shoes or something, but
Yeah.
even still, like, he would have said no.
And
I'm not
the
walking in there.
receptionist probably be like, "Why are you in here? I'm doing a deal, and I just want government police presence. Get out."
Well,
Exactly.
I feel like if he would have said let's go inside, he would have known that man had ill intent. Because anybody that just want money would be like, all right.
Not necessarily.
No, 'cause
Because he could
Not
be buying
me.
the shoes.
I don't care what I'm buying. If you want me to buy it in a police station, I'm not going inside.
Yeah, not at all.
Set me up.
No, sir. Why?
If it's legal,
Yes,
Yes.
I'm black.
That's very
That is
suspicious.
Like,
I don't want to
what?
be in a police station ever again.
Ever.
I'm cool with dying without ever seeing the insides of
100%.
any police infrastructure. I don't even want to go on jury duty. I used to, like, as a kid.
I do.
I used to want to be on jury duty
You
so
do.
bad.
I want to go on
But
jury
now I
duty,
don't,
and
'cause
I
I
want a
just feel
high
like it's too
profile
intense.
case.
I got summoned for jury
You're, like,
duty.
locked up. It could be like weeks. The trial could be. So
Yeah,
That's
it
fine.
The only
depends.
I like at the stage I'm in right now, jury duty would be cool because
Yeah.
I have nothing going in
All
my
I need
life.
is a
I have no
PlayStation.
job, nowhere to be.
I don't even know if you get a PlayStation. I don't know.
No,
No,
definitely
you
don't
get
a
like
PlayStation.
$30 a day.
Well, no, you can if you're staying in a hotel. I'm pretty sure you could bring your PlayStation.
Yeah, I'm going to bring my PlayStation.
But I don't think you have access to internet.
Yeah, true.
Hotel has Wi-Fi.
On the outside.
Yeah, but like they may not let you guys access it.
I'm just playing Madden, bro. Like, I don't.
Yeah, but you
That
could be
don't
on
matter.
Madden and then they be like, "Hey, you."
Yeah.
As you get a pick six, so you heard about
Exactly.
the blah 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 murder. My homie said he was right there. He witnessed the whole thing. He said, "Come Wowie."
I got summoned for jury duty, and well, while we were sitting there, the guy came in and told us, so like all the commencements are like about to start. So basically, we'll be back and let you know if anything goes down. And when the next time he came back, we were in there for like an hour and 30 minutes. He was like, "Well, all of the trials got settled today, so y'all can go on home." And it was funny. This older black gentleman, like after we were dismissed, he was walking. He was like, "I could have been doing something the F else. I did not have to be up in here."
I know people like purposely say the wrong thing so they don't get picked for jury duty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shout out Vince Staples.
being on a jury is a very arduous process.
Yeah, especially if it is one of those situations where it's like, all right, this is gonna take a minute because, and then you gotta like, you really actually have to like you don't have to put forth effort, but you have to be there, which is effort enough.
Not only that you have to be there, I think people like you cannot be passively present. You
Yeah.
have to be actively paying attention the entire
And
time.
taking notes.
You like, I had a homegirl who was like, her mom had jury duty, and like after the third day, like they were going back to do some deliberations or whatever, and they were talking about like a line of questioning that happened. Her mother was like, "Oh, I must have zoned out for that." They were like, "What are you talking about? Like this people's lives on this." She was like, "Yeah, I don't remember none of that.
Exactly.
I don't know if
I
I
will
could."
say, like, people
Then she
on-
was just like, "I'm gonna just like go with them." But they're like, "What, man? You gotta." So it's just like you really have
Is
to
it
be.
an odd number or even number?
I think it's usually an odd number. I think it's 13.
It doesn't usually matter though, because if it's not unanimous, then they're gonna just make you revote until it
Yeah.
is unanimous.
Well, I'm saying like 12 can vote yes and 1 can vote no.
Yeah,
they're
if it's
gonna-
not unanimous, they'll just keep making you
they're gonna
revote.
keep-
And if
keep
it
doing
like, if it takes too long, then it'll be a mistrial, and then they'll either do trial again or the charges will drop depending on the severity of the case.
Oh, I'd be that one person.
Just for the sake of being contrarian.
Yep, like
Everybody would hate you.
he's not guilty.
But what if he's clearly
What
guilty?
is- I was
Oh,
about
if
to
he's
say,
clearly guilty, then guilty, of course. But
you just want.
but I was gonna say like you could definitely tell people's character when it comes to jury duty, because like what if a man is because they could lie also, just how they could say the wrong thing, they could lie to get on the jury and be like racist or something.
But that-
Yeah, there's like a whole vet. Yeah, there's a.
and now
Don't they
it's
be looking you up on Facebook?
yeah,
and
now it's
everything,
much more advanced because we have social media and everything. They're going into your personal life. They're
Yeah.
finding out, oh, you're a part of this private Facebook group called WWXY, and then they find out that stands for White World Eliminate Youth, and that
This man is a neo-Nazi with hair, so we need to get him.
Oh man, my least favorite this week is not technology based. It's society based. Yeah,
traffic.
I have so many society based ones, but this one I feel like I guess it's really only prevalent in my life in somewhere where technology crosses over, and that's on social media. And it's just, I really despise people who say, like, they say things thinking they just said something, like, ooh, like,
This gonna kill 'em.
like, I really like was on some woke tip, or like, we not ready to have this convo type tip, or like they really think
okay,
they're
I know
saying
what you-
something with some
Okay.
weight, something profound, and
That
it is
you
just,
thought you ate,
it
give me the
is
plate
so
situation.
bombastic. It
I
is
feel
just
what you
a
mean.
clanging symbol. It's just, and I have a wonderful example of some verified young brother who, y'all might have seen it. It was, I mean, I could pull it up actually easily, because I almost quote tweeted it, but I'm getting better at letting people be stupid and wrong and just ridiculous in life,
bro.
And so
I be clicking on it. I be
you
clicking
do.
on it,
I mean,
but
I
I don't.
I just have to, like, you know.
Man, I haven't like conversed with people on Twitter in ages.
All
I just say my opinions now,
His tweet
as
was,
everybody else does.
the first part's in quotation, says, the government put crack in our neighborhoods. They also put libraries in our neighborhoods, but we barely use those. Why were we so quick to use the crack? Serious question. Nigga, you are stupid. I quote tweeted 3 different tweets, and then I didn't tweet any of them. Like, I just left them all in my drafts. But I'm just like,
Said, why were we so quick to use the crack?
bro, I literally.
Are you mad?
And of the things that I was gonna say, my favorite one is, you know how many drug addicts are well read? Nigga said this like, if you smoke crack, that meant you can't have a library card too. You are a goof. And what I just don't understand, beyond that tweet, like, that one is just too much to unearth. But I just don't get how one could have such a lack of self-awareness or such a sense of hubris that they just, like, swear they have created the moment where the rubber meets the road, and this is like, oh yeah, my thought is sliced, like, this is what this is to philosophy and to society, is like sliced bread. Like, this is it. And it just be so not, like, how do you,
So not.
it's just, and not just like, I saw another one. There's no way I'd be able to find it. This was a few weeks ago, but it was this person who was just like trying to draw a comparison between you not liking how something tastes to not liking a film or a movie or TV shows because of the main ethnic, like, the ethnicity of the cast. And he was just like, if I don't have a taste for Brussels sprouts, they didn't say this, but this is basically their philosophy. If I don't have a taste for Brussels sprouts, you telling me how great Brussels sprouts are aren't gonna make me like them. Well, that's how I feel about black people shows. Like, and they didn't say black, but they were just like, if I have a taste for white media, like, you can't tell, no matter how much you talk about how other media or other people in entertainment are great, I only have a taste for white media.
Right.
And I was just like, did you just, like, feel like a trailblazer, right? Like, you felt like you...
Why would you even say that?
Because it was in a thread about people talking about, like, the lack of diverse casting, and specifically, it was... I know why. Eternals got, like, critic bombed by people who didn't see it just because Brian Tyree Henry's character is gay. And so it's like a bunch of, like, when you go on IMDb and rolling Rotten Tomatoes, there's so many 1-star reviews from people who are saying in the review that they have not seen the movie. Like, it was a 60-something% and a 69% on Rotten Tomatoes before it came out. At that point, it's like the only people who've seen it are people who are at these, you know, major festivals, or critics, or, you know what I mean, famous people. So you have a bunch of actual critics giving it 3s or 4s or 5s, and then there's just thousands upon thousands of 1 stars, and it was just all people who were just, like, being homophobic. And that led to a conversation about, like, the lack of diversity, specifically with superheroes, and how there's...
Why do superheroes have to be gay?
That's not my grievance. My grievance,
because he's gay.
My grievance is, why do superheroes that aren't gay have to be gay?
Well,
there are
he is
very
gay.
much. That's what I'm saying. There are very much superheroes that are gay, and they express that in the comics. Like, that is along their characteristics. But why do the ones that aren't gay have to be gay?
Well, there's never been a not gay superhero gay in a movie to this day.
Yeah, no, and that's That's what I'm saying. But
so
like
he's gay
they
in
want
the comics.
people's like
okay.
people get upset when
Gay was out back then.
What?
How would you?
that was a
You know how
crazy
long
statement.
Gay been on the block?
That was a crazy statement.
That's the craziest thing.
Episodes.
Gay was out back then?
Crazy
What does
statement.
that
You want me
even
to drop this a little bit?
Oh man.
That was a crazy statement.
That's
but
crazy.
yeah,
Please take it back.
like when Tom Holland was like, I wouldn't mind Spider-Man being gay, which is okay. Like, okay, I understand you wouldn't mind being that you're the actor, but there are gay characters that like could have used that representation instead of us making a straight character gay.
I think another part of it is about like accessibility. So it's the same reason why, like, not that this is the same conversation, but like how Warner Brothers was like, we want to like not have our next Superman be black, but rather than using the black Superman from the comics, which is a different character than Clark Kent, but he's
Right.
still Superman, they're like, we're gonna make Clark Kent black. And they're like, because money, like people don't know this other character, but they know Clark Kent, so we're just like,
Yeah,
it's about
just
accessibility and people going to, but it's
That's
like
understandable, but
it's understandable, but it's lazy. And
I
I'm
don't
completely
even want a
agree.
black Clark
It's
Kent
it's
to
it's
keep
it's,
it a
it's
buck
very
with you.
lazy.
that's very lazy
But at the same time,
because you have a
comic
plethora.
It's like the black Captain America.
at the same time, comics are ever evolving. Like,
Yeah, because they're
and
still going.
Exactly. It's not like comic books stopped existing. So, you know, you get a new writer, a new team in charge of something, and they can make the decision to go, okay, we're gonna go. We just saw it with Superman being bisexual, and people were like up in an uproar. But like, this is a new canon Superman. In
Yeah,
the
it's
sense of-
his
so like,
child, his son.
I think it's his son.
So this is like a new comic book, period. Like a 2021 type of comic. This wasn't.
What is a 2021 type of comic?
Well, 2021 comic. Like
Yeah,
they
it
wrote
came out this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
But
Yeah.
but that's the thing, like,
well, by being bisexual is
pe-
kind of 2021 type.
and that's the people are like these are these people. It is these. Well, not even just that it's a 2021 thing. Like this year being, it's just like, you know,
As
there's a lot more people openly bi now than there were a decade ago, and a decade before that, and a decade before that.
Most definitely.
That's why I was asking it. Never mind.
But yeah.
How you ask that.
But another thing is that like majority of the people who have a lot of these complaints, they're not even reading the comics. They wouldn't even know where to find the comics. They can't tell you who's writing the storyline right now for their favorite character, or what direction that storyline's going in, what the themes being explored are. They couldn't tell you. They can't tell you right now
movies
what's
be
canon
fire, though.
and
Yeah,
what's
what's
not.
not, yeah.
And yet
Most
they're
definitely.
like, how dare anyone be anything other than what I want them to be? And we know what it is. I don't have to say it. And the fact of the matter is, it's just like, shut up. Like,
Honestly, that's just as lazy.
Just shut up.
That's just as lazy as the other thing that I brought up. Like,
Yeah,
it's
they're
very,
both
like,
lazy. It's just like,
because you have no like reservation to be. Well, not that you don't have a reservation. You don't really have the like. Who are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, who are you? Have you put anything into this media to be like, okay, I kind of have an issue with this, or are you just saying that because you just saying that?
and let's also remember that, and this is one thing that like social media has like taken to its greatest degree, especially Twitter, and Reddit too. I've been noticing, consumers don't have any say so in like the creation of and like the things
They
that they're
really
doing.
don't.
Like, well, yes,
yeah.
but
That
I'm
was bullying.
But that's the and that whereas that worked out for the better, that is like the problem. Like
Yeah.
right now, like consumers have more a feeling of autonomy than ever before, and so they're like, we do so get to dictate what it is that gets created. No, you don't. Like,
At all.
Really.
shut up. Most of you can't like. If someone
Put a
paid,
dent.
if someone said I will give you $100,000 to write a 5-page script, you couldn't do it. You couldn't create something cohesive that is a story. Like, no, stop like having this. And it's a lot of times you'll see people expressing like, I'll say this all the time. There's, especially for the majority or for the masses, right? The people who are usually the people having these problems.
Yeah.
There's no shortage of what you want to see in media.
Facts.
There's no shortage of what you want to see in video games or in film and television and theater. Like, you guys have been controlling these industries and still do since the dawn of time. So there's no shortage of what you want. So why does it even matter that what someone else wants is being because it's in something you still want to see. Deal with it. Like, deal with it. Just deal with it. And that's a great place to just go into the intro because if you don't know, then now you know. This is the YSO Podcast. Welcome back to everybody that's a part of the fam. You already know who I am. You know what I mean? Birth name Emmanuel. They call me Saint Even, but you could just call me God's favorite.
My name is Vegeta.
That's the same one from
No,
last time.
I was Goku last time.
You were Vegeta last time.
Well, now I'm Goku then.
What is you saying?
Hi, everybody. It's Ashton.
What's poppin'? How you feeling? It's your boy, CK.
Sword.
That stands for Christopher Knox, not Crip Killer.
Why would anybody think?
They're very.
It's easy.
One of my homies literally told me that that's what it meant.
Oh yeah,
That's
when he came to the studio, he
yeah,
was like,
my boy
"Oh, you got
B-Way.
CK up there, bro."
He was like, hard body CK. He's like, you know that mean Crip Killer, right? I was like, no, I did not, but thank you for telling me. And you know, he's a blood, so that would make a lot of sense to him.
You gotta watch where you put your K's behind any sequence of letters.
Big facts. 'Cause on me, in my head, I was like, if I even would have been down, I would have been a Crip. So like, why would I even associate myself with that?
I seen someone's page on Instagram. It was a screenshot, so I didn't actually see their page. But like, their name was GDK, but it's because their initials were like GDK, and it was a bunch of it was the comment like section of their pictures, and it's just like the trident emoji. That's like the GD's emojis because they throw up the rings. It's just it's like hundreds upon hundreds of just these tridents, these forks, these rings. He's like,
how scared I would be.
Why are people commenting? He didn't even like. He's not even. He's like, why are people spamming my comments with this? Somebody was like, hey, you got to change your little icon name.
Like, whoa,
you over here, you know what I mean? You over here talking about you GDK, so
My
you
name
really
is Gerald Darius Cleveland with a K, bro. That's just me.
You gotta watch where you put them K's.
It's like that
for
TikTok
real.
where it was like, y'all throwing up GDK and y'all are civilians.
Oh, so
It's like, doesn't it feel so good to just drop?
I would say,
Like, bro, what is it?
I will say that I think now we've talked about how like now this generation of that's kind of taking the horns and hip hop, like it's very much getting back to these kids are really outside for real,
For sure.
talking about what they're doing. And I think a lot of things that are becoming popular to like just the kids in suburbia who love to consume our culture and just eat us like vultures is like this, like having this sense of responsibility or role in gang life, even though they have nothing of the like. And so like people who are a fan of someone like will really adapt their gang life to their psyche, but only like on the internet or when no one's around.
Yeah.
Like if they're like with their homies and they're listening to Vaughn, they'll be dropping the rakes the whole song, but like they'd never do that like at a party.
Of course
because
not.
a GD might be in there. But like if it's a frat party with all their homies, then they're and so it's like very interesting. I think like someone needs to do a psychological study.
Have you ever watched like
about that?
a GTA montage
No.
of people just like in the GTA world? You would assume that these kids were like living this life. Like, no, you're virtually rolling up on somebody talking about something. Give me all you got. Like, bro, you're getting robbed right now. Like, yo, get this man. Like,
Why do you have to announce that? Like, you're getting robbed right now. Well, thanks.
Just in case there's any confusion.
Yeah,
didn't
just
know.
in
In
case.
case there's fire in your
Just
face.
in case I
then
got
make
this
it
gun,
clear.
you thought it was sweet with this Mac 10 pointed at your skull right now. But it's like, it was this one clip. This dude was walking out of a gas station. He had a I can't remember what color shirt he had on, but he walked by some kid. This kid could not have been older than like 12. He's like, hey, yo, you repping so-and-so, or you just like wearing purple? I'm like, yo, what is wrong?
It's real gang culture in GTA
culture
Online.
in GTA Online, bro. I'm like, yo, what is you talking about? If that was me, I would have been like, yo, get out my face, yo. Like, let me walk down this block back to my whip so I can go get a freaking soda from the gas station.
He said, is you Grove Street?
Like, what is you talking
You
about?
roll with CJ and them?
Yeah, and then as he kept
not
going, he
even
like,
this
nah,
GTA,
hold on, nah, bro. Like, what is you talking to me like that
That's
for, bro?
crazy. They
You are a
flying in
child,
colors
my
I just
guy.
seen
in
some
Los
video. I think you
Santos.
commented on it, Drew, where the guy was walking down the street and another guy was like, "Yo, this is my block." Or something
Oh yeah,
like
some
that.
white dude in a
This is
in a
real
red
life or
hood-
GTA again?
No,
Real
this is
life.
this is real hoodie. I mean real hoodie. This is real life. A dude is in a this white guy's in a red hoodie, right? Walk up on this.
I don't even think he
on
was
this black
white.
dude.
He looked like Indian or something.
Nah, he was white.
Oh.
He sounded like he was like European or something, but he was
Oh.
white. He walks
them
up on
little
this
prank
dude.
videos.
Yeah, he walks up on this dude talking about some, yo, you know where you at right now? He was like, he look around like, what are you talking about? He's like, yo, you know where you at right now? This is my block, bro. You like, so what's up? Like,
He said, "What you
this
trying
man
to do?"
said- Yeah, he was like, you trying to get? He said, like, you trying to get clocked right now? This man put his hand to his throat,
Pulled
and
out
was
a gun.
backing it up, pulled out the Glock.
This is
And
broad daylight.
This is broad daylight. And Buddy was like, yo, chill. It's a video. And I was
You
just
almost
like,
got
I commented, I was
boomed
like, that's
over
what
a
you
prank.
get. Like, you
Oh,
can't walk up
God.
on nobody talking about some, yo, do you know where
Especially
you
not no
at?
black
And not,
man.
like, what is you? Dude
almost
was
got
first of all, dude was
boomed.
bigger than him, so that's an L in the first place. Like, why would you do that? And then all of a sudden he's like, dude, this, and then
He looked at the camera and was like, "Boy,
yeah, he was like, he's like, yo, the camera right there. He was like, yo, I almost blowed you down right here, bro. Like, he's like, you can't be doing that, and that's like,
Nah, that's a big
broad
fact.
daylight too."
Like that.
yeah, you can't.
You can
play
tell
with
he's
people
definitely
like
done that before.
There was for sure. There's these two dudes on TikTok who be walking like they'll like act like they're like talking on microphones, but like they'll be holding any random thing. Like the last video I saw, they were holding yard lamps, like they were microphones. And as people walk away from them, they throw water balloons at them, and like they act like they didn't do it. And then one video they did it to some dude walking out of the gas station. He turned around and he looked at the dude behind him and he was like, I ain't do that. And he was like, that was them. He walked up and like
Smack, yeah.
he
It's
before they got the word out.
man, your guy.
Yeah, he
was him.
smacked him, and then he chased after the other one.
That's what you did.
And I'm just like, y'all really like, I don't.
Somebody gonna lose their life one day.
Yeah, playing around,
Yeah,
pranking,
man.
trying to prank in the name of pranks.
For
really,
views.
yo,
YouTube
half of
pranks
these
the worst
things-
thing to happen to
For
YouTube.
views.
Bro, half of these things aren't even pranks. Like, you prank somebody by scaring them, like elaborately figuring out how to make something drop from a ceiling, or like you open a door, or like a cooler and there's a snake in there, right? Or a fake snake, you know what I'm saying? And it's
Yeah.
like tied to the lid. So
Or
when
that
it-
just, that gum buzzer from
yeah,
when
you
we
know
were
what I'm saying?
kids.
That's a prank. You acting like you're
That's assault.
riding somebody in our apartment bed as I walk in. That's not a prank. That's gonna bring out emotions in me that you probably don't want to see.
First of all, anything that has actual like real effects after you say it's a prank is not a prank
At all.
If you throw a water balloon at me and it's a prank, I'm still wet. So what was so pranky about it, Mike? You people gotta understand, like,
Like, yeah, nah.
you can't. And I think
It's
one
a
thing,
fine line, bro.
one thing
It's a
people don't
fine
get is
line.
like, as much as like we can try to police how people like react or whatever, you can't dictate how someone's going, what someone views as an equal and opposite reaction. Like, it's physics. Like, you got an action that's gonna be equal and opposite reaction. And sure, you could be like, yo, me saying this is my block does not mean I need to like get shot. But to me, that's exactly what it means. So don't do it. Like, you don't.
Because you're
people
telling
is
me
real-
that means you're trying to get active. And if you're trying to get active, that's a list of things that equate to being active for me. So like, what do you? Why?
What are you trying to do?
Right.
That's what you asked. So what are you trying to do, bro?
Student loans.
I remember when I was a sophomore in high school, I had a Spanish class, and in this Spanish class, I had somebody who somehow, some way, found out the teacher's password to her portal, and he was in there in class changing his grades.
in class.
In class, and I'm watching
get
all these
caught?
people like, yo, change this for me, change this for me, change that for me, and I'm sitting here just wondering, like, how do y'all think y'all are gonna get away with this? She's gonna look and be like, I know this Negro didn't get an A on that. I graded it. So like,
You can't change
but
your letter grade.
he didn't change his letter grade. He was like changing every individual assignment, but like he was doing it.
I'm
like,
saying you can't change the letter grade of the assignment. So like, if you got a 71, give yourself a 79.
yeah, like he was doing stuff
Not
like
a
that.
91.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? But like eventually, and I don't think he ever got caught. She just changed the password because she realized that somebody probably had it. or it's probably protocol to change it, and they caught it on a cycle where they knew it and then eventually didn't know it again. And I remember, because he never got caught. That boy was sitting next to me the entire year. And so I was just like, that was one of the funniest things to me. He was like, yo, you want me to change? I'm like, nah, bro, I'm good. I got a B. Like, I'm not even doing bad in this class.
That reminds me, way less effort, but that reminds me of when I was in 9th grade at DECA, and we had this English teacher. He was like, I don't know if he was just like disorganized, or I feel like part of me feel like he knew kids was lying and he like almost didn't even care enough. But people would not do the homework and then tell him they handed it in and he lost it. So he would just, then they'd be like, okay, well then he'd be like, then what do you think you deserve? And whatever number you, like, it wasn't even a test. Like if you say an A, whatever number you say, he was gonna give you exactly that. So I'm in a whole, like the whole class ain't do assignment. Just say this one assignment, right? For this book we reading. Whole class didn't do it. Not a single soul. Everybody's saying to him, oh, no, I did it. Yeah, you lost it. Boom, boom, boom. He get to me. Nah, I ain't do it. Everybody didn't understand why, like, it's like, stop being honorable. Like, lie. I was just like, y'all, maybe I don't know what type of mode I was in, but I was like, y'all care even enough to lie. I
don't
care
even
so
care.
little, I'm not going to do it, and I'm going to tell him I
yeah.
didn't do it.
Nah, I ain't do it.
And the reward after a while of me, like, now don't get me wrong, it wasn't like I was not doing everything, but a lot of the assignments he was giving us, I was just like, this is just brain dead actions. Like, this is like not, this is doing nothing for me. We was reading books. I'd be like, I'm not reading this book. Like, I'm just not. Then we'd have like tests on the books. I straight would be the first person done. He'd be like, you flew through that. I was like, I ain't know nothing on it. Like, I was no lie. We had one about this about the Holocaust. It was like a man's autobiography. And
I think I know which one you're talking about.
I like started reading it, but I didn't get deep. It's talking about who was it that went to the chambers. He saw them walk into the chambers. How did that affect? I'm like, I'm making up my own version of this man real life. I'm like, whatever. And in the end, I did not care. At some point, they like, what is it? Because we see you smart. We see you. I'm just like, bruh, that got me in here. I'm almost feeling like a fifth grader in the phonics class. I'm feeling like, even though like it's not like the assignments was like super duper easy or nothing like that. I just was like, I'm not doing this. Like, yeah. I just felt like I am above these types of assignments. Like, I'm not doing this.
That's how I felt for summer reading. So
then they just moved me to the better English class, and then I was like, yeah, this is alright. This is my speed. I'll do work in here. But like, I just was like, bro, what? I'm not doing. And everybody was just like, yo, we used to lie, joke, play around, be on all types of mess in that class. And Emmanuel would just be like, bro, I'm not even for it. And it was like, to this day,
was the teacher black?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like a black teacher.
Was he old?
No.
Okay.
He's a character though. Like, oh man, he was such a character. He used to put on like this fake bougie French accent. And like,
oui.
Like, yes, like he used to like, it was like faintly French, very bougie, and it was just so fake. Like,
oh, make me so mad.
And then like, oh man, crazy story.
You scared to be yourself. So.
Our classmates,
R.I.P. King Von.
Our classmates found his mugshot online.
He went to jail
at some point, and so he lied and said it was his twin brother.
Oh
God,
he's
he
definitely
did.
Scared to be himself.
So he said it was his twin brother. Because these, I don't know, for an advanced school, academic school, bro, like we wasn't off the hinges in the way a regular high school was, but we was way too off the hinges for us. They in the class on the school iPads pulling up his mugshot, like Professor So-so, I ain't gonna say his name, Professor So-so, who is this? Oh, we see you. He like, oh, that was my twin brother. No, it's not me. No
way, boy.
It was like, bro, that class was comedy. Like, really thinking about that class was comedy, but I don't know. I just wasn't going for it.
Dang, I'm sick. I forgot.
As I was in a lot of high school. When I think back, I don't know how I finished high school. Like, I feel like in comparison to the average,
how I did.
High school was lit.
Like, I didn't do.
It was so.
This is a hyperbole, but like, I really was not doing work.
No. I didn't. Me neither.
Like,
I went to school to play basketball. I ain't gonna lie to you.
High school.
I barely even went to school to do that.
Please.
I mean,
Exactly.
I did, but I was more focused on the things that we did in school. Like, I would do work that was in school, but like homework.
What's homework?
Because it made no sense to me that we like you could take my personal time. Like, first of all,
No, you really talking right now.
I am first of all, I'm a
how
student
dare you?
athlete.
Who do you think you are?
I don't have the same hours that all these other kids have. On top of having to practice for 3 hours after every day, unless it's Thursday. On Thursday, we just did walkthroughs and then we went home. On top of having to use my body to spear into other people.
And, spear.
And you know what I'm saying? And not only do that, lift the weights for 3 years. So, like, at some point during the day, like, I would be asleep in class. And my teachers would, like, have the nerve to be like, why are you sleeping? Because I lift weights at 6 in the morning. What do you mean? Like, my first class when I get here is weight training, not any other class. And then on top of that, after school on Friday, I play a full game. So I only have 2 days of the weekend to do things because from the time we get out of school up until 12 o'clock is my time is taken up. Mm-hmm. Like, you really expect me to want to do all these things? Like, I get it. You're a teacher. You wanted kids to study and do all that. But you really expect me to want to do this type of stuff? No, not at all.
I don't think it's as much about expecting you to want it as much as they just expect you, like, it's your responsibility because they impose it upon you.
Way too much. And it's like, yeah, I'm a student athlete because I got to go to school in order to play, but come on, son. Like, no. Like, I never understood. I have never read a full summer reading book ever in my life. And not once have I failed an English class because of it. And so, what was the purpose? I failed every single test I took, but what was the purpose?
The purpose was that there's the belief that 2 months of not stimulating the brain in an educational way, you'd come back and you'd forget how to zip up your pants. And so it's just keeping
Probably some of them would, but I guarantee you making them read a book is not going to help.
Well, for one, it's
because y'all don't even give us the books.
It's too
we
easy
gotta go
to
buy it
finesse
ourselves.
summer reading. As a matter of fact, I remember it's so easy to finesse summer reading. I implicated my mother in me finessing summer reading. For 10th grade, we had to read some book. I think it was like Bury Me at Wounded Knee. I think that it's that exact or something of that like. It's about Native Americans. And it's maybe like 2-3 days before school year start. I'm like, yeah, I'm supposed to read this book and do this assignment, and we ain't got the book. Found out it was a movie. We went to the library, got the movie. I watched the movie, and I did the report on the movie.
Yeah.
And I just was like,
I just didn't.
It's gonna be what it is.
Yeah.
I didn't read not one.
That's like me and Beowulf.
I started reading.
I had to read
Beowulf.
Beowulf.
You had to read Beowulf?
In
Yes,
college.
we had to read.
Oh, okay, in college.
We
that
had
makes
to
sense.
read Beowulf in high school.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Nah, I watched the movie.
Beowulf's too long of an
the book
epic
is
to read in
way
high
too
The
school.
book is a little
We didn't
different.
finish it. We ended up watching the movie. We read up until a certain point and then started watching the movie.
But yeah.
Ridiculous.
Like
Oh no,
Father
I
and
read
Son.
Beowulf in high school too, but I thought Beowulf was one of those things only we were reading. I didn't know like real
Yeah, it was
English
one of those
lit
books.
people were
That
reading
the
it.
Odyssey.
Yeah, you have to read the Odyssey.
and the
you have to
Crucible.
you have to
Oedipus.
read the Crucible. You have to read the Scarlet Letter or To Kill a
That too,
Mockingbird. You have to
yeah.
read one of those two.
We ended up reading The Killer
we
Mockingbird.
did we did Scarlet
You guys
Letter.
went to high school?
Yeah.
You went to middle school in Marietta.
No, I didn't.
You didn't? Where you going to middle school?
A bunch of places. Alpharetta.
Not a bunch.
That's what it was. Not Marietta. Alpharetta. I was thinking.
Roswell, San Springs.
Yeah, all. It was all over there.
That's literally like
You was to the
the
left.
tri-city area of like wealth in Cobb. Like when you're in Cobb, like the broke people are in like not broke, but like the not rich people are in like Marietta and Kennesaw. And then if you like go into Sandy Springs,
Bro,
and
Alpharetta
Roswell, it's,
Stadium
like,
was
it's so
ridiculous.
Oh my God, there's mansions.
Yeah.
I think Sandy Springs is where
They
Cardi
had a
B lives.
freaking. They had like
It
a.
is.
They had a visual board. That was the first time I've ever seen like a scoreboard with a monitor on it, showing replays and everything.
Oh, you talking about one of those?
Yeah, in high
I thought you was
school.
just talking about like with the lights.
Nah, in high
I'm
school.
like,
Like everybody else just
Bro,
has a
I've been to
scoreboard,
your school
and like if
and
you
y'all
remember
have
it,
that.
you remember it. But like we have the refs when they're looking at plays, they're looking at the board to make the right calls and stuff like that. And that was like really crazy to me. I'm like, yo, this is ridiculous. And
Yeah,
their
that's
field
rough.
was turf. That was like one of the first times I played on turf.
that's pretty fire. That's pretty fire. I'm not gonna lie.
Our coach used to like pride himself on the fact that he cut the grass of our like football field, And it used to like never make sense to me because just like, bro, you don't do anything else. You literally like besides coaching us and going into the school and sitting in the ISS room all day, you don't do anything. So cool. Like, there's people who are actual teachers. There are people who like actually do stuff in the school. Like, what do you just do that?
But I bet those people can't mow the football field. Think about it.
I mean, they all got yards at home, so it's not like they ain't got practice. But hey, you do what you do what you do, cuz.
And not everybody cutting their own yard.
True. My dad only cuts the back.
I wonder how much in settlement Travis Scott is gonna have to pay.
We don't even
It
know.
depends on if he's gonna be individually sued by a lot of different people individually.
Or
is.
if the
Oh, how many people died?
8 people
they're
died.
saying 8 people died.
8 died, like a couple hundred injured.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. But we'll never know the official, because from all these testimonies I'm hearing, it sounds like a lot more people were passed out and might have lost their life than what they're telling. Because at first I saw 11 first.
I saw 11. Yeah, I saw 11
Yeah.
too. But the first thing I saw was the person who was like, I saw hundreds of dead bodies. And
Who said that?
like the first person who like let people even know, like on their story, there was like, they said something like about how like how crazy it was at Astro Fest or whatever. And then they were like, I saw hundreds of dead bodies tonight. And whereas like, I guess I get if you see like a lot of passed out people, you're just
Yeah,
gonna
you don't
assume
know.
all of the people who were passed out or who were
Especially
down
if one
were
person
dead.
had died by
Exactly. But I think it is bonkers that 11 or 8 people can die and someone who was there is like hundreds of people died. Like, this is exactly why witness statements are like so grain of salt, like just in
Yeah.
any situation, because it's just like, yeah. Oh, speaking of, this is in a lighter note, we'll get back to the Travis thing, but have y'all seen that tweet where someone was saying like how Idris Elba, it's like shots from The Harder They Fall of Idris Elba and Lakeith Stanfield, and they're like, they look the exact same, like
yeah.
the resemblance is uncanny. And somebody
Yeah.
quoted it, and they were like, witnesses like you is exactly how brothers end up serving life for things they never did. Like, what do you mean, dude? It was
That was
definitely him.
What are you talking about?
It wasn't. It
I
wasn't me.
even there.
It was not me. It was Kodak Black, and we don't look alike. I don't understand. Like, but yeah, back to the Travis Scott thing. I think there's just like so much like. I think this is gonna sound weird coming from me of all people, but I feel like there's so much happening. Like when it comes to people's like think pieces and reactions and feelings all over social media, and I think what's not enough happening is like actual real compassion for the fact that people are dead.
Yeah.
And the people
Well, I feel
who
like it's
died.
blown over already. Like people aren't really talking about it like that anymore.
On my timeline.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the people, no, but the
Yeah.
subject matter, people still talking about it on my timeline at
Really?
least. Yeah, but it's
'Cause
mainly
even-
people like raking Travis over the coals and just like wanting him
Yeah.
to die, be crucified.
Or
for
it's the
these
complete
actions.
opposite, and people like clowning people for like speaking about it, like in ways, or like people defending him, saying like, "Come on, like, did you really think he has any type of da 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 da?"
Yeah, and then there's very little people, at least on the internet, communicating any level of like sound middle groundness.
Yeah.
But even beyond that, there's also like, just in my opinion, it just everyone wants to react so like chargedly at Travis or in defense of Travis or at the festival, but it's mainly Travis at the focus point of all of
Yeah.
that, and it's just like very little, in my opinion, real compassion for the fact that there
People
are
are
people who
dead.
are dead. And it's just like,
People don't care about people.
yeah, but
Very
I just
much
would,
so.
I feel like in a situation like this where like anyone who's like is like really coming at Travis and putting like all senses of blame on him and like raking him over the coals, the reason you're doing that is because people died.
Yeah.
And yet there's no real compassion and no real empathy coming from you about the people who died. You're just
Right.
using them as a tool to attack,
to vent. Yeah.
yeah, and that's what I think is what I'm seeing more of anything. And it's just like,
It just passed.
y'all are, and I think that's the thing. It's like people who are like claiming to care about something, but
Yeah,
You're
they
not.
don't really.
You're-
It's because of, it's the thing that's happening right now.
Yeah.
One thing that I noticed that like I kind of knew was a lie immediately as it was brought to the attention of people, where they were saying that there was somebody going around poking people with needles. And that's how the security.
Yeah, the police
the police said
said
that
the security-
apparently
Yeah,
somebody was poking
removed.
people, the security guards, with needles, and literally today they said that was a lie. And it was just like that was like one of
The
those
lie
things.
detector test determined.
That's one of those things
That
where
was
it's
a lie.
like immediately after like all of that going on, because TMZ originally was the one who released it, and then the police department said that like later that day. Yeah, and then literally this morning I was looking and said it was on Twitter, it was like a headline and it said they said that basically that was a lie. And immediately when I saw it, I was just like, yo, that's a lie. Because think about it. Security is not all huddled up in one spot. They're in different positions. Mm-hmm. So you're telling me that they got these two over here, was able to go get these two over here. And even if they were all in one spot,
it was
how
Agent
many
47.
people? Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If they was, but then again, then somebody is even at more to blame, because who was sending this person into the field to
Astroworld Fest.
Yeah, Astroworld Fest to knock these folks
Hitman, your
off,
next-
to get all these people through. Because
Hitman,
what's
your next
going on? This was this wasn't no random. Like nobody's randomly gonna be like, yeah, I'm bringing this so I can eject people.
That's the
He's gonna go up on charges.
Him specifically,
criminal
no.
charges, probably not.
Probably not.
A lot of
because there's a
civil
lot
stuff is
of
gonna happen. Yeah.
other things that are like entities
I wonder
that
if
are
it's true, 'cause they
responsible
said he was
before it
aware
gets to
of what
him.
was going on, but was still performing. I wonder if that's true. or
Well,
not.
there's a clip of him saying,
Yeah.
like, when he saw one passed out dude, he's like, stop the show, stop the music, this dude's passed out, don't touch him. He's telling people to give him space, get security to him. And
They continues.
yeah, and then once the dude, like, had, like, security had came in and cleared him out, then he resumed his own.
But
And,
then there was
but
50,000 people there. So like he couldn't be I understand that he couldn't be aware of what was going on behind the VIP, because the VIP was a section.
and that's what I think
right in
a
front
lot
of
of
him.
people aren't understanding is, like, because of the communication of, like, everybody just flooded to the front.
Yeah.
Everybody's thinking this is all happening directly in front of him. But, like, everybody did flood to the front. But once again, it's this larger mass of people moshing. And then once these sinkholes of people are happening, it's probably like a line of 10,000 people just existing and the sinkholes of people behind them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, not excusing, like, him of anything. I think there's culpability on many fronts.
Yeah.
But I do think that I find it hard to believe that if someone, while he was performing, informed him, hey, there's like mad people getting trampled and dying, like mad, that he'd be like, utopia must happen.
Yeah.
Astroworld forever. Nah, bump him, cuz, like, but
like I got Drake out here.
like,
He ain't cheap.
the
That's something he encourages people to like rage the stage or something.
He encourages them to
Watch
rage,
shows
yeah.
And themselves are crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely encourages raging.
The rage, yeah.
But lots of
yeah.
not an excuse. Raging is like a very common thing at concerts in general,
Yeah, and moshing as
especially
well.
moshing, and especially at festivals. Like,
Yes.
it's why when people go to festivals, like, you kind of know, don't get close to the stage unless you're one of the moshers and ragers.
Yeah.
Like,
'Cause
just
then
be behind
you
and
can very well
you do
get-
your thing, and that doesn't matter if it's Lollapalooza, Coachella, Made in American, Rolling Loud. Like, if you go to a festival and you're one of those people in the premiere up towards the stage, no matter main stage, side stage, baby stage, like, they gonna get super duper crazy lit. And it's really, they don't be caring even if it's a moshable person. Like,
Yeah.
people will rage through, like,
Billie Eilish.
like, literally, like, the Bruno Mars, Versace on the floor, like, and so and so, especially
for
in
real.
art, when you have artists that are whose music has that energy and are like that,
Yeah,
artists
that are
like a
like-
Travis or a Rico Nasty
Or Playboy Cardi.
yeah,
Uzi.
Flatbush Zombies, or Uzi,
Yeah.
like, you gotta just know
More of that
not-
emo rap.
And they have
That's
the
what
type
like
of
they kind of.
fans. It's the people that go to the concert.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That are into that.
I didn't really, like, ever understand, like, even just the idea of ragers until like I met this kid who's like he just is always going to ragers concerts and just parties, and he's just like he literally was just like I don't feel more alive than I do like amongst just dripping sweat amongst so many people just throwing all inhibitions to the wind, just being careless and wild with your body, and he just was like, I feel so free. And I was like, in the back of my mind, like, I'm not gonna ever speak to you again after this. But like,
cool.
This is it. Like, cause I never really had a moment of understanding the psychology behind it. And I've always been like, I've been to very few concerts in my life, and
I love the space that I had.
The one where I was jumping a lot, my feet was so sore at the end of the night. I was like, all right, Gambino, I love you, but next time I need a lawn chair or something, because this is crazy.
All the concerts I've been to, all of the concerts I've been to, I've had space to just stand and dance in my own little area.
Yeah, majority
and that's
of
fine with me. If your arms go up, they stay up. When I saw that, I was like, yeah, it was intense there. Like, if people put their arms up, they had to keep them up. I was like, but the thing about it is, the crazy thing about it is that people have, like, a lot of people are coming out saying that, like, they've been to previous Travis concerts where they felt this type of atmosphere, and they were saying, like, that experience in themselves, they were like, at some point somebody's probably gonna die from something like this, and sure enough, eventually, you know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. Yo.
The craziest, what really like bugs me about the whole situation is there are a lot of people who are granted, you know what I'm saying, even though I might have some of this, like, even though I might agree with some of the same ideas that they're talking about, the way that they're going about explaining it is very insensitive, like, and you know what I'm saying, and then the way that people are attacking them because of just what they believe, it's like, you know what I'm saying, the whole conspiracy theory aspect of it, you know what I'm saying, like, people using the word sacrifice, people using the you know what I'm saying, those type of terminologies, like, granted, the
Trey Rags video.
You know what I'm saying, the Trey Rags video was funny. Granted, I do believe something was going on, like, in the spirit world in that atmosphere. I can't sit there and say yes, you know what I'm saying, like, yes, this was,
and to specifically dictate and denote like control and intention from like one party to have this affect and result on others.
You know what I'm saying, because it's very like we don't know, we will never know. Granted, there have been plenty of agencies that have given him, you know, what he has. This man had a McDonald's deal. This man had a meal at McDonald's. He has plenty of shoe deals. Of course, the albums that are coming out. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, but there are, like, weird little details that do, like, kind of, you know what I'm saying, if you look at it one way, you could say, okay, that's kind of weird. Like, in the video for Escape Plan, he's wearing a shirt from a band who had a concert where 8 people died at one of their concerts in the same type of fashion, like, people were, you know what I'm saying.
I didn't even know Escape Plan had a music video.
Me neither, until I saw that video. And then, like, you know, the cover art for the 2 songs is like a play on something about a bat child, like, it's an old was it from like a movie or something?
Yeah, it's a movie poster.
From like an old movie poster about like a bat child being like having to like escape and whatnot and stuff like that. And then even like the symbolism of like the entrance with his mouth being wide open, that like it has significance in other, like, I don't remember if it's Roman or Greek mythology, but one of the two, you know, they both got, the Romans got all they got from the Greeks, the Greeks got all they got from the Egyptians. So it's like, you know, just different names and slightly different stories. And, you know, when it comes down to it, you know what I'm saying, we won't know, you feel me? Like, and then the thing about it is, like, having to hear so many different, like, accounts, like the one video where the dude was talking about, like, the atmosphere did not feel right. Like, he said that he was in the VIP area, they were like, he said at least 10 bodies like passed out around him. And, you know what I'm saying, he said that he literally, like, people were being turned over and they were like black and blue, and like he said he's never seen death before in his life.
That's crazy.
So that situation really like has kind of scarred him, and like understandably so,
weirdo
like
trauma.
people like people dying, and then people were being rushed into that, and like there was somebody who worked at a hospital that was like down the street from Astrofest and said that there were people getting rushed in for injuries, you know what I'm saying, overdoses and all this type of stuff. And the one thing that I find funny is, let somebody get on Instagram or YouTube or whatever, and they pull out a bunch of tarot cards and they start talking, or they start talking about crystals, or like they sage their house and they're like, you got to understand, like there's energy that's going on in the space that you are. There's these, you got to understand like what's going on, and like, but if somebody like comes out and says all those same things but using God as their like driving home point, then people would be like, you know what I'm saying, I don't even, you know what I'm saying, I don't really want it. But like if it comes from that type, like a self-proclaimed witch can give you that same information, and you're like, oh my God, yes, queen, spit. And you like, bro, what do you mean? Like I literally just told you that the things that happen in the spirit world manifest in the physical. We can't see the spirit world, but we live in it. You know what I'm saying? Because of the frequencies that we're limited to see, hear, touch, taste, and all of that. So it's like, like I said, there are a lot of people who are going about it like in the wrong way by trying to, like, you know what I'm saying, like really just like, yo, you know what I mean? But like, and then all the other people were just like, bro, you're so stupid, you're so ignorant, this, that, and the third, God don't exist, the devil don't exist, you're stupid. And it's just like, bro, 8 people are dead, and we don't even know if that's the real number. Like there are people that are dead, there are people that are injured, there are people
there's still people very much injured,
very much have went through that atmosphere and did not come out okay. People were saying that like as soon as like they fell, it was 5-10 minutes before they were able to get back up again, because it was being piled
people
on.
you
know what I'm saying?
That's
so
crazy.
like, which is ridiculous, because after 2 minutes,
people described it just like that.
Yeah, after 2 minutes, you're like, yo, can the people under me breathe?
Yeah,
like you're not even thinking about like getting up anymore. You're like, yo, can y'all breathe? Will I be able to breathe in the next couple of minutes? And then eventually when those people get off of you, you're helping people up, and then the trend continues, which is just scary to think of. Like I've only been to one party where it was like, yo, excuse me, like I gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like I gotta like really like get skinny to get by people, and that was MPB part 2. If you was there, you know, but he was there. It was crazy.
Got 60 lawsuits against Travis Scott and about 150 plaintiffs so far.
Well, it's understandable.
It's gonna be a lot of money. I mean, all them endorsement deals. So he got it.
He definitely got it. And then on top of that, it's gonna be like a lot of, and he's gonna be able to afford a very good lawyer. So it's gonna be like, well,
and that's why why anything criminal, I just don't see it. Like, you want to take him to civil court? It's not. I don't see nothing in this going to no type of trial, civil or criminal. Yeah. It's gonna be settlements around, unless it's just somebody who's got such like a one-track mind for like making a statement almost, or like making an example. And to be honest, that probably won't work out well, because they probably can't afford a better lawyer than Travis. So you probably could have got like this settlement, and then you're probably gonna end up getting like. And what I've learned, we paid for like the cheapest coffin, like just.
What I've learned, like,
and that's it, like so.
Nah, he right though, because
like,
you know coffins be
be
bankrupting people.
Yo, that's really how it
people
be.
People don't even have enough money to bury their loved ones, which is ridiculous.
I seen a video. I don't know if I think it was a TikTok, but I seen a video of somebody.
Christian, you sleep?
Being like, somebody being like, they are like a receptionist for a funeral home, and like the wildest thing that's like drilled into them, that's a part of their essentially job, is if people are like making appointments over the phone or whatever, and they like want to know price points or different information, you start from the top. Like say they're just like, we just wanted to know like kind of what the budget here for coffins are. It's like, oh well, we have this one, and you start describing it, and then they're like the price, and you start with the most expensive one, and then you keep going down until they get to the one where they're like, okay, we'll do that. But like
Yes.
The most expensive ones, like, yeah, this is like a $85,000 coffin, but it's got lined insides. There's a pocket for if you want to have. I swear to God, there's like a pocket for if you want to put any heirlooms or any messages in there for them to have for eternity. There's this. It's ventilated. Why does there's this contraption that makes it that bugs can't get in, so bugs aren't gonna come in and vermin aren't gonna come in and eat the body.
That's your worst. That's least of your worries. It's gonna flood. It's underground. It's gonna flood.
You start at the top and then you get to the
Y'all
bottom.
got a
It's
water
like,
seal
we
on
could
it,
throw
bro?
them in a plastic bag and just chuck it in a hole for $79.99. Like, why is it $79.99 to do that? Why is it like? So yeah, it's crazy, man. The business of death is.
It's profitable.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And that'd be another thing though. Like, when you really think about it, a lot of these people who be having funeral homes and stuff, they really like only a lot of, when you listen to most of them, it's just like, yeah, people are always dying, people are always gonna need this. Like, you're not passionate about this
At all.
You don't have any like real sense of like purpose in like helping people have the right send off for their loved ones. Like,
Yeah, you're just
it's like when you meet most real estate agents, like, you'll have people who will sell you on the like, I love putting people in their dream homes and finding the perfect place for them.
cap.
Bro, 98% of what you do is like, this is your budget, we can afford this.
Let me take you over here.
Like, you're just doing this because people are always gonna need somewhere to live, and
Now
we
here's
don't know
the
how to find
kitchen.
it.
It doesn't have an
None of us.
island.
So like, it just be interesting. But I will say that I guess like service-based industries, like, people always feel like they're supposed to have a level of passion involved in them, but it's just like, you don't believe in passion at all?
I feel like this is fake.
You don't believe people have passion about
I
things?
think they do, but it's still fake on a certain level.
Explain.
I'm just like, how? I think it's just because I have not discovered it personally. I'm like, how are you dedicated to this for your whole life and you love it every single day, forever,
Hey man,
until you die?
he the reason I found my passion for music. Even though like I always wrote as a child, like I used that to like literally express my feelings. Like I would get angry and I would have to write stuff. You feel me? But like
As a punishment?
when just like, you know what I'm saying, to like vent my feelings. Like that was the easiest way I could do it. When he put me on his first mixtape, I was sitting in a studio watching somebody working Pro Tools, not knowing a thing about Pro Tools, but sitting there like making corrections to what he was doing in my head. I was like, nah, I wouldn't do this, I would do this, I would do it this way, da 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 da. And then 2-3 months later, a guy shows up in my lunch with a microphone and a laptop, and he's like, so do you guys want to come to what's it called, to Grayson Tech? And then my friend freestyled, and like he recorded it, and like we all watched him do it and like listened to it. It was like, wow, this is really good. And you know, I've always loved music, you feel me, but like I never even thought I would be making music, even though I wanted to, you feel me. And now I'm at a point where it's like, I really do feel like Tyler Hero. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how he said at the beginning of this year, like, yo, I feel like I should be in the conversation with Trey and Luca, but like his play last year didn't really.
But now he's showing that.
Now
Maybe
he's showing it.
He's still
That's
gonna do it
how
the
I feel.
whole season.
Yeah, for sure. But like that's how I feel. Like, granted, I thought I was like really, really good, even though like I was good for my level. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't at the level that some of my like, you know, people who are like have been working on it a little bit, not even as long as I have. Like, only been working on it for a few years, but like they kind of like surpassed me. You know what I'm saying? Not even surpassed me, I would say, but like they're at a level that's higher right now than. Sorry,
I know you was not just sleep.
they're at a level.
Oh my God!
They're fantasy.
Kelly Olynyk sprained his MCL.
Ooh, that's how I feel about Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry gone for the season, man. And ain't no running backs, ain't no sleeper running backs in my league. It's over with. But yeah, like I really feel like now there's like not too many people that's on the level that I'm working with. But yeah, like.
So you would say you haven't found your passion?
Oh yeah, I know. I don't have nothing.
Interesting.
You might.
I think it was like, I don't know, like when I was younger, I was really obsessed with trying to find it, and I stressed myself out so much. and then I just got into like work mode, school mode, and this is like the first time I actually have to just think a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm like, I don't know what I want to try. I don't know what I really want to do.
I feel like a lot of.
I don't know.
I feel like a lot of Americans.
I'm not gonna hold you.
Like,
I very much enjoy doing absolutely nothing, but I know that's not my passion, because as much as I enjoy doing nothing, I'm way more passionate about, like, I enjoy making music and acting and writing way more. But I think that's interesting. One thing I can't relate to that is very much a thing for a lot of our generation is not only not knowing your passion now, but like not having always known it. I what, like 7? When did I start acting? Like,
I thought you was
like
5.
got an 8. I know, but like when I really started, So since 7, I was acting.
You went into the acting, got the scholarship
For John Robert Powers, yeah. So since 7, because I knew I wanted to be an actor, like maybe my first or second class there. I was like, yeah, this is what I want to be. So since 7, I've always had a passion. Now, I didn't know until 20 or 21 that what my true passion was to be an actor, a rapper, and a writer, and that like to do all three of them to the fullest capacity. But I knew I wanted to be an actor from 7 to 13. I knew I still wanted to be it, but like let go of acting and like dove into music and like did that from like 13 to, I mean, still doing it, but like that was the main thing. And then going back to, going to college, just like, okay, well, I'm gonna do something I like, so I'll do theater. That like made me fall back in love with theater and made me like realize, like, as much as I always knew deep down inside I still wanted to be an actor, it was just like, no, this is what I have to be. And I always wanted to be a writer. I always looked at myself like a writer, but I never wrote anything, so I never told people I was a writer, because I was like, I don't have any evidence. And then in my senior year, writing my one-man show like solidified that for me. But all my life I've had my passions, and most people, especially our age and in our generation, like, don't have that luxury. And it's just like, not that it's hard for me to fathom. It is, like, it's not hard for me to fathom. I completely can understand it. But it's just like, I wonder how much that has shaped my growing up in my adolescence. Always knowing what I wanted to be, like what my heart and my spirit yell and yearn and live for, and like not being tapped in with that, like how that can change those formative years for you very much on like a psychological and spiritual level. Like I've never had that, and so I don't know how different it can really make even just the smallest of experiences. That's why I've never understood like people who like come to college. Like, I understand it, but like I've always just kind of marveled at like people who will go to college and they will switch their entire major because of one class they liked. Like, they'll be like, say they're like a STEM major, they're like an engineering major, but then they take like a psychology class, an intro gen ed or elective psychology class, and liked it so much that they changed their major to psychology. I'm always just like, then why are you in engineering? But it's just like, one class that you liked was, I was business, but now I'm criminal justice. Those aren't close. How did you do, like, and it's just because like I've always had to some degree a compass in regards to that when it comes to career and my direction.
Definitely a blessing. It's hard on here. I'm like, I don't know what Jesus wants me to do. Literally, I have no clue. I don't know.
I feel you. And my passion, like, I had plenty of passions.
I'm gonna be hearing that. I do ask.
What do you feel an affinity towards?
I don't know. I grew up, I really always wanted to be a pediatrician. I was honestly looking into being an EMT. I'm thinking about it. I don't know. I don't know. It's like the stuff that I like to do, I don't necessarily want to make money. I do watch that show, yeah.
You'd be the first like responsible person that I know personally that would be an EMT if you were to be one. I know like four or five people who are EMTs or who are going to be EMTs, and not near one of them would I be like sure, that person doesn't know because they don't know you, but if I was having an emergency and the ambulance pulled up and you hopped out, I'd be like, oh, please go back and send somebody else. Please. Like, no, me, the bullet wound, and the heart attack will be fine. Please go get somebody else.
I'm not going in the shop. You just woke me back up.
Not getting in the back of your vehicle. Not happening. So that's wild. I hope you find it sooner rather than later.
I feel like that's 97% of Americans, because
Like,
most
don't
people,
know?
yeah, because most of them
I
think
wouldn't
about
say
it.
that. I'd say like half don't know.
Okay,
I'd say
yeah.
I'd say like 97% of Americans are not pursuing their passion anymore.
That's probably that's more what I meant.
A lot of people be
You know what
knowing,
I mean?
but fear or
Yeah,
logic,
yeah.
or I got a responsibility. All those things hold you
Doubt.
back. Yeah, all of that hold you
Because
back.
luckily for me,
The majority of mature people that not only don't know what their passion is, they don't even know that they were born to have one.
Yeah.
That's a
but
fact.
that is a fact.
That's a
yeah,
fact.
they just
That is
exist.
very true.
Yeah.
Fact. You know what I'm saying?
My age I come in contact with, even men, they have no idea. It's like they're amazed by the things that you do because you're actually walking in a purpose. They don't have a purpose.
That makes
At
sense
all.
though. It makes a lot of sense
And when
because
I think
not a
of
lot of
older
people.
men like that, I just know
Yeah.
these niggas be very purposeless. They
Yeah,
do not
very
have no
purposeless.
purpose. So
Like,
I
a lot of-
believe you wholeheartedly.
A lot of them do, but a lot that I have met, and they can't connect with somebody
Yeah.
that
Nah.
does because
Yeah,
they don't
I agree.
understand. They can't grasp what you're doing.
That's a fact.
Yeah, that is a fact.
If your heart don't beat for nothing, you'll never understand how I'm
Ever.
operating on. Yeah, that's for sure. Especially not romantically. That
And granted, I think that like has a lot to it's something that's passed down. You know what I'm saying? Like our parents we were fortunate enough to be put into sports. You know what I'm saying? Put into things. Like anything I came to my parents was like, I think I want to do this. They're like, okay, let's go do it. And then if I didn't like it, then I would stop. But if I had an affinity for it, then I would continue. Like I wasn't the greatest basketball player. Like I only really played basketball because he played basketball. You know, I was just copying my older brother. But then I saw him play football and I was like, you know what? I think I want to play football. Or there were people who like for some reason when I was really young I would do cartwheels on the basketball court, so like people would just be like, hey, maybe you should put him in gymnastics. They put me in gymnastics. I was good at gymnastics. You know what I'm saying? They put me in football. I was good at football, so like I developed a passion for it. And then like music was just something I kind of always had. It was kind of like always in me, you feel me? So like you couldn't have told me in the 5th, 6th, 7th grade that I wasn't going to the NFL. Like you couldn't have told me that I wasn't going. You know what I'm saying? Because and even after I graduated high school and I've seen some of my former coaches and like, you know what I'm saying, they ask me if I'm still playing, and I tell them no. Or like if they ask me, that was during the summer, I was about to go to college, and they would ask me like, so where you going? And I'm like, I tell them I'm not going to play somewhere. They're all surprised because out of all of the people that played, they were like, I was for sure knowing that you would have went. You know what I mean? But one thing that I do regret is letting somebody else take passion away from me for something specific. Like that's something that I'll never let happen again, because granted I could have done a lot of things differently if I took it upon myself to never let that happen before it could even happen. You know what I mean? And then like I regained, like I lost the passion. I can remember the play I lost the passion for playing football because I came out on the sideline and my coach was more upset with me, even though I made a play. Like I picked the ball off, literally intercepted the ball, but because of a stupid rule, the fact if a receiver and a cornerback catches the ball at the same time, it always goes to the offense. But I caught the ball, he just caught me, so they thought it was they called it a touchdown. And he looks at me, he's like, how did you let him da-da-da-da-da? I'm like, yo, you ain't see me and so like I was just like, you know what, forget it, you a horrible person. And he was already a horrible person like in my eyes before that, and we were what, 1-3 at that point. Like we were 0-3, and that was our first game that we won. And so like for the rest of that season I was just like, I don't really care, I'm finna just hang out with my friends and enjoy this year. And then when I went to college, I started whooping kids in flag football because they ain't play the type of football we was playing down here up in Tennessee. And then I'm just like, oh yeah, I actually can do this, I forgot. And so tried out for the team, but I was on academic probation. That was the only reason I didn't make it. But you know what I mean,
Usually your passion is tied to your purpose. So when you begin to, and usually a lot of times your passion is like the things you love, the things you care about, the things you have opportunity.
oh yeah, I could have helped a whole bunch of people in that locker room.
Passion is tied to the pain that you came out of.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I have a passion
Pain
for
that
helping young
someone
men
else has come out of that's
who love too
connected to
much.
you.
Yeah.
You have an affinity to support them, and a lot of times that spears your purpose, your passion, your purpose.
You know what's a really good, like, I'm not saying go out and like put yourself into this predicament to make finding your passion, but like almost everyone who has a near-death experience comes out on the other side of it knowing what their passion is.
I'm gonna talk to you about how I want to, not a near-death experience, but I have a plan for how I'm gonna find it. But I can't say it.
You're going to
camera.
Travis.com too?
All right.
I can't say it on camera.
All
But
right.
I do have a plan.
We're praying for everyone that has.
Yes.
Thanks.
Oh man.
All the families. But yeah,
Oh,
nah.
it's 9:44.
That's. Yeah, that is
What's your name tonight?
Goku.
Go for yeah.
I'm just tired.
He's Gogeta.
I
Yeah.
feel that.
That boy been working out all week.
Working out, loser. You care about your health and fitness. Could never be me.
As soon as I start making enough money, I'm definitely hitting the gym again. Really, as soon as I
Not
can
where
get
I
a
thought
car.
that conversation was going.
Things.
I thought you were gonna say
I
you were getting
need
plastic
a
surgery.
car.
Oh.
I was gonna get plastic surgery.
Because that seems like something that's more reliant on you needing money.
Yeah, I
Like-
just need a car again, and I just need money to be able to afford my insurance. And once I'm able to do that, I'm going somewhere to work out consistently because I don't know.
I don't
I'm
get
tired of
why
being
people get the fake
regular.
abs because you
That's
can.
the thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what
Yeah,
Drake
people,
got.
people go and get their
I thought
abdomen
Drake got
done.
fake muscles.
No, you got fake abdomen.
Oh no.
And but like all fake abs look the same. It's like you can tell. It's like you know how like you can tell a BBL stomach.
Yeah.
Because it's like they stomach looks the same and it has that like the belly
Stretch
buttons in that
button,
weird
yeah.
shape and all that. That's how like people get their abs done. All their abs look the same. Like it's like why
That's
did
not
you
how
even
bodies look for real?
get it? Like it really don't be looking real. Like it almost looks drawn, but like
Yes, because it is. It literally is.
it's interesting. Our final question tonight, I stole it.
This must always be so hard.
And the funny thing is you're supposed to like answer quickly, but that never happened.
Y'all hear about Thomas J?
Is he
Howard?
alive?
Man,
Yeah, Rob.
man.
Yeah, bro.
Terrence J got robbed.
Well, almost died.
That's Terrence Howard.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I'm thinking about Terrence Howard.
Think like a man.
Yeah.
Why would you go
Oh, you
there?
talking
Why wouldn't you
about,
say 106 in Park?
Yeah, he got robbed.
You know how many people I didn't think like a man?
Yeah.
He's out somewhere, some restaurant or something, someplace where people watch him, and they follow these people that go to these highfalutin restaurants. Some dudes tried to jack his car, shot at him, he got away, and they tried to, I think, follow him home or something. He's okay. He didn't get hurt, but yeah.
Was he in LA or
They should
something?
have had that burner on him.
Media.
Oh, me, he should have had that burner on. Terrence J don't look like the type of guy to buy a gun. No.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like all celebrities should have a gun.
Oh yeah,
Except
should.
for the ones on probation. But
Should don't mean he do. You know what I'm saying? He feel like he.
But
A
also,
lot of
if-
celebrities feel like I'm so and so. Like nobody's.
yeah,
gonna-
he's definitely like I'm Terrence J who's trying to rob me.
Another
That's
reason why
mild.
we're
But
gonna come after you.
Not really. Who gonna rob Chance the Rapper? Chance the Rapper.
you
Just because
sleep.
he can get robbed, don't mean it's. What do you gain by robbing Chance, bro?
The money?
Some hats.
Exactly.
Not some hats.
You pop his trunk and it's
He don't be
a
icy.
bag of threes.
But yeah,
in
he's
there.
a rapper. You don't rob rappers that aren't icy because
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
what are you
Like-
gonna get his card that he's gonna lock the
Exactly.
moment you walk away?
Like,
You gotta
that's a
rap.
very
You gotta
positive
rob
person,
a
bro.
rapper who got. But like Terrence J probably has cash on him.
That's crazy. I had a
Maybe.
dream last night. My wallet got stolen, and I chased the guy, and I got it back.
He wasn't that fast.
Well, I don't like my. It was in my back pocket, and
That is-
now when I'm like out in crowds, I put it in my front pocket.
I've never put anything in my back pocket because I'm from New York.
Yeah.
I've
Put it in
I've
my
never
back
understood
pocket,
people
but I
who
take it
just
out
like-
when I sit down in the car because you can, if you sit on your wallet for too long, you'll get back problems.
That's
Interesting.
probably true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my audio engineering teacher told me that, and like ever since he said it, I would like sit on my wallet and I was like, I can see how that makes sense because it's like just the slight
Yeah.
especially
Difference.
yeah, and then most people old men's wallets are
Come
this
on.
thick. They got the same wallet from 2003. That John
me.
is mad thick with so many business
Every
cards
business
and
card they
receipts.
ever got is in that John. Like,
So
they're
you
never
know
gonna,
it's not
they're
even
dead.
like
Like, you
even
can
like
take that
this.
business card out.
It's like this. They mad off kilter.
That's
So
a fact.
like yeah.
All right, yeah, back to our rapid final question. I stole this from a TikTok video of these two dudes who do a podcast. I was supposed to go to their page so that I could say their name. It's the two dudes who they're always doing like would you rathers.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
And they're like super funny.
It's two black guys, right?
Yeah, the two black guys. But this one is a who would you save scenario. And so there's a burning building. Inside that burning building is your mother and your sister. And this, for y'all's case, just make it each other, I guess, because y'all don't have sisters. For me and you, just pick a sister.
Yeah.
So your mother and your sister and your best friend's 2 new fresh baby born twins. You can only save 2 of the 4 humans.
I don't know them twins.
Not for real. Them twins
Where's my best
be
friend?
gone.
Not present.
Yeah, them twins gone, bro.
No one's in the building. Well, okay, in the building is your mother, your sister, and your best friend's 2 fresh baby born twins.
Why she leave her fresh baby born twins?
Maybe she would. You was
It was
out.
with y'all.
I don't,
They can make more.
stop making it like you. They with your mom and your sister. Your mom and your sister is watching the twins. Fire broke out. Now it's up in flames. You have the capabilities physically and you have the time to save 2, but only 2.
Made the
It's
whoosh
you
noise.
and 2 people coming out alive. The moment y'all come out, the building gonna fall on itself, and whoever's in there is dead for sure.
Sorry, twins.
The twins gotta go. They're
I'm
first
at-
going to
I'm-
heaven.
I'm
They're
calling
dead. They
out.
can go.
And
You're calling
asking.
out.
I'm calling out and asking, should I save these twins?
To who? Who's you going
No,
out
to him and my mom, I guess.
Your
I'm
mom
gonna let them decide. Whoever I'm not making that decision.
So you're gonna put the sake of you saving the twins in the hands of the other 2 people you could be
Yes.
saving?
That's
Yes.
a cop out.
Yes, it
such a
is.
cop-out.
But it's definitely
And that's the worst
that's
cop out
the
ever.
easiest way I can do
Because
it.
you're having to choose who to
Forget
save.
them kids,
They're having
bro.
to choose
You're a
to
horrible
live or
person.
not.
They're gone.
You trifling.
Most people
They
look,
just got here yesterday. I have so
Usually-
much
oh
more to
my
live
gosh.
for. Well,
They have way more. They have way more life to
Well,
live than you do.
you said you was gonna ask the people, and one half of the people is here telling you bump the twins.
It's got to be unanimous though.
You better hope your mom on the same
Yeah.
energy.
I'm saying because if she say, Chris,
Be
yeah,
like, boy, if you don't get in here, save me.
if my mother says get them, I'm getting them, bro. I'm sorry, it's my mom.
I'm gonna keep it.
She
100.
outrank you.
I'm
on
pushing you and I'm saving myself.
Oh my god.
Terrible.
I'm gonna keep it 100. First of all, I have to say, one of the dudes, his response was hilarious. He said he was saving, I think it was his mom and one of the twins. And he said he was gonna go in. He was making a joke, but he was like, "I'm gonna make him do something for it. Like whichever one of y'all speak first gets to live." And that was hilarious.
What?
Next episode, I'm gonna have their name because I don't have the time to look it up right
my
now.
God,
They're amazing.
That's hilarious,
Um,
actually.
I hate the fact that I wish there was a bit more controversy between us, but I am also team bump them twins.
Bump them twins.
I didn't even think about the fact that they're
sorry, bro.
guaranteed to go to heaven.
Yes,
That's like the
you're
perfect
straight,
reason.
bro.
Like
Why?
they're definitely gonna go to heaven.
Yes.
But my main reason is because I think if the shoes were reversed, me knowing my best friend, me knowing Tyler, I think he would also, and I wouldn't blame him, I think he would also say bump my twins. I think he would let them die. Be like, it's my sister and my mom. I have to save them.
Yes.
And I wouldn't, I mean, there's, I guess the thought of how does your best friend react and do they blame you?
I wouldn't
But
even be mad.
I feel like you can't blame them for that. Like,
Yeah, that's
an
a very
it's such an impossible
horrible
It's
decision
your
to have to
kids,
make.
not mine.
I'm gonna be quick with this,
That
but
was
this,
so awful. I would feel bad, but like,
yeah,
hey,
it's
bro, like, they
whoever the building collapses on. I'm feeling horrible about it.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
There's
it's
no
me.
ifs, ands, or
It's
buts.
me you're letting the building
All-
collapse.
all-
on.
That's not true. Because
is
mom
true.
could possibly be like bump them twins,
You
and
know
if this
what?
says bump them twins, I'm getting y'all. But I'm just saying, bro. This
Another
actually,
factor for me,
sorry.
both of my sisters have kids of their own. So it's like
Yeah,
their death
they
affect.
gotta, yeah.
You know what I mean? These it's just so, now
I
you
know
call
you're
her.
calling on them. What time is it? Oh my goodness.
Hey, Mom.
Hey.
So, scenario for you, right? Oh, you're on air, by the way, so don't say nothing that would incriminate us. So, scenario, me and you and Andrew's best friend's twins are in a burning building, right? And he can only save 2 of us. And he said he would leave it up to us to see who would be saved. I said, bump the newborn twins, save me and Mom. And he was like, well, we would have to see what Mom would say. Tell this man that you would say, bump them newborn twins and save us.
Oh my goodness, the babies. What in the world?
Forget them babies, Mommy. They going to heaven anyway.
Oh Lord, this is too difficult.
It shouldn't be that difficult, Mom.
But I want everybody to live.
Exactly.
Yes, but don't you want to live?
Jesus gave his life for us. We supposed to be like him. I feel like that's very noble.
So
And
wait a
your
minute,
mom
I
has
have to
2
answer
adult
this?
kids.
Yeah.
Very much to adult kids.
Only because Andrew put the responsibility
Yes,
on
only
y'all.
because Andrew is a cop-out and he put the responsibility on us. He said he's going to ask us who we should save. I said bump the twins, save me and Mom.
I can't
but,
make
you
that
know.
split because think about making that split decision in the moment.
I wouldn't have to. I know what I'm going to do right now.
They're newborn twins.
No, I'm talking about me.
How old you are right now?
Oh.
Just as a little background, I said I would save you and him, but you see how he treating us?
I'm not treating y'all nothing. It's up to y'all. I'm just
about something, it's up to
delegating the
y'all.
question. That's all I'm doing.
The twins can't
Would
even
you want to
speak
be
for
saved
themselves.
or
I'm
would you
saying-
rather die?
I'm saying, forget them twins. Save us.
Lord. Oh, the baby.
See, the fact that she taking so long.
The babies is going to heaven anyway.
Just
Thank you,
picked up,
Mom.
Called Mushiko Tensei.
No, it's all good.
Um,
Bye.
And in it, basically, there's the main character.
I'm no on-air murderer.
Basically, the main character gets shipped off to a nation to earn money because he wants to go to a magic university, right? And while he's in that nation,
Sounds like Ba Sing Se.
I
Sorry.
guess ain't no magic in Avatar. I get what you're saying, though. So basically, he goes.
It's mad magic.
He's tutoring his cousin's. His dad's basically his cousin. His dad and there's 4 noble families that like all have the last name that they have, and he's working in one of the other noble families' houses, and so he's working to earn money to ship him and his childhood love to the same magic school because he don't want her to be alone. And while they're there working, learning and doing all this stuff, there's a massive event that like teleports almost everybody in a a whole 3 cities worth radius of people to another continent. And in the story, the episode that just passed, he like links up with his dad, who was also caught up in that situation. And while his dad was going and trying to collect all the people who were in his village and including his mother, the maid that lives in his house, and one of his little sisters, because he was married, but had a little infidelity issue, and so he had 2 babies by 2 women that lived in the house, and so his little sisters are both missing. The maid is missing, his mom is missing, and his childhood friend is missing. But because the dad was holding his daughter at the time that it happened, they're together. So he's all like messed up. He's been drinking the past year and a half because he was struggling trying to find everybody who was in the village, right? And so when he links up with his son tells him about the events that he's been through in the past year and a half, and he gets upset because he's like, why are you acting like this is such an adventure and such a game when you didn't even think to look for your mother and your sister and all these other people? And like he's like, well dang, I didn't even think about that. And like both of them are in the wrong and both of them are in the right, in the sense that one is an 11-year-old kid, even though he is a genius.
He's 11.
Yeah, he's 11.
A grown man.
Yeah, no. He's 11, but it's a genre of anime that's like people die in the regular world and get reincarnated into another life. So he's mentally a 40-year-old man. So he's a genius, like he's got a genius level mentality in this world, but he's still in an 11-year-old's body. Yes, all the weird things that you're thinking about it are very much prevalent in the show.
Okay.
But the thing about it is, it's like the whole premise of like the last episode, they like apologized to each other because there was an argument about the fact, because his dad, of course, you know, being in a drunken stupor, is upset that, one, why are you acting like you're having so much fun for the past year and a half when it's been hell for me, and you ain't even care about your family, like you ain't even check to see if we was all right, you feel me? But that reminds me of like the situation that like they're currently in, and it's like, because
You still
on one
copped
hand,
out.
you're right, I did. I'm not denying that I did that. I'm delegating the question because it's too much of a question. Because I'd hesitate and mess around, we all die. How about that?
How you die? You outside the building.
I gotta run inside and get somebody. You feel me? If I run inside and I look to the left and to the right, and y'all two over here and the twins over there on the bed, and I'm like, dang, I can see both of them from where I'm standing, I might think a little too long, and then and all criminal.
Don't put Andrew in front of no burning buildings.
Please don't. As long, hey, if there's people if it's 2 people I could carry, don't put 4 people in the building. You should have asked something like, would you rather save your wife or your daughter falling off a cliff, or like your child? Like,
that's too easy.
Exactly.
That's why I ain't asked that.
That's disrespectful.
Yeah.
Very easy.
Wait, how old is my child?
Yeah, that's also what.
That don't even matter for me. Forget that child. We can make another one.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I'm actually not of that class. I'm actually of child first. But if the child's like mad young,
Don't the Bible say something about it's the spouse and then the child?
yeah, but who cares?
Okay, just checking.
It's like Harvey
So I
Dent.
wouldn't be in the wrong for doing
Say
that.
until you have a kid.
It's like what Harvey Dent was saying.
This is
No,
how-
save Rachel.
this is
What,
how-
you a politician? That's
this
your
is-
girlfriend. What are you talking about?
This is how I feel.
You the face of Gotham, bro. Like you finna turn this city around. What's
Then
wrong
he
with
became
you?
the Two Faces of
Rachel
Gotham.
ain't even like she ain't even all that,
Bro,
Oh yeah, she's idiot.
Skip. Nothing is funnier than Skip and
Maggie
Stephen
Gyllenhaal.
A. Smith after that movie coming out, talking about it on first take, talking about some. They lost me with Maggie Gyllenhaal as the love interest.
Why
They're
they
both
messing with
horrible
Jake's
people.
sister like
Bro,
that?
the tweet, I know y'all know the tweet was like, Joker would have had no leverage over me.
None.
Talking about some Maggie
Nah, for real.
Gyllenhaal. Blow that thing up.
I ain't seen her in nothing since.
Since 2008, you cap.
I haven't. What she been in?
I'm sure she been in plenty of things. Now,
Not that I've seen.
You're right. You might not have seen her.
Yeah, I
in
ain't seen
nothing.
her.
She been cast though.
Absolutely, yeah.
She
Don't
definitely
make it
been.
seem like
better
she ain't been in
anyway.
a. Well, that's a hard. Jack Gyllenhaal's one of the best actors of his generation. You can't just throw people against him.
Big falls.
That's
Big
wrong.
facts. I mean, I said
cried.
fall twice.
Oh yeah, I cried a lot to Southpaw multiple times. I can finally watch it without crying.
I don't think I can.
But
Granted, I haven't seen it that many times. Only like 3.
oh no, I've seen it like 6.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I've seen it 5 or 6 times.
That's not even his best performance, though, in my opinion.
Have y'all seen the new Netflix movie that he has?
Yeah, The Guilty. Yeah, that's a really good movie.
It is.
The voice
I
work,
watched
the voice acting in that movie is top
Because he was in this
notch.
the whole time.
Oh my god, I love the voice
I gotta
work in
watch
that
it.
movie.
Roller coaster.
Have you seen Doom?
Yeah,
You saw Doom when it came out.
I saw it the day it came out.
Yeah, okay. So this man over here wasn't paying attention.
I
during the
was
movie.
paying attention.
No, you weren't. You
So
weren't
that's
paying
why you
attention.
was confused, 'cause he
Exactly.
wasn't paying
He wasn't paying
No,
attention.
no, no,
attention
no,
during
no.
the.
He was like,
during
I
the-
was mad confused. I was like, really?
Exactly. He
No,
wasn't
'cause
paying
now I get the
attention
full-
during
I get the full
first
scale.
No, because I said he killed.
Spoiler alert.
Mad spoilers. Mad
Yeah, so
spoilers.
stop right now if
Either
you plan
pause
on
it,
watching
fast forward, whatever you got to do. But he killed the homie in the visions that was supposed to be helping him.
We don't know what's gonna happen after the visions. They could have a way to bring him back to life because they brought the body with them.
That could be their thing, though.
Not only that, though, we don't know the level of. So
Finality with his visions.
exactly, and I was gonna
Oh,
say
yeah,
the
he
level
did
of
tell the,
accuracy because
The witch lady that.
yeah, Paul is, is setting it up for him to be the promised one.
Yeah.
And so there's prophecy over him.
He's like
but
Jesus.
then he's having these visions of prophecy.
Yeah.
We don't know if his visions of prophecy line up with the prophecy.
Right.
And so it's kind of like almost giving
and I
us
feel like
this
he could have used the
cultural
voice
and
in
then-
more situations.
He ain't mastered
Yeah,
it.
he
He
ain't-
still ain't got it mastered for real.
Yeah, he only got it.
His mom
he
could've.
got lucky.
Low key. The
Yeah,
night,
he got lucky that one time.
the night,
and then she got
but
busy.
that night she could have used it.
There could be there very well could be limits to this power. It's probably you probably have to like because I think it's only one person at a time. Because when he said it,
It's
he said
definitely one subject at a time. Because
Yeah,
no,
like, you
no
can't-
one's not her, nor her,
Nor the
OG,
pilot. Yeah.
have said it, and multiple entities reacted to it.
Yeah.
You probably have to have a focused
You mean
target for it to
talk
work.
to one person? I thought you meant only
Yeah,
one,
like one
person can
target.
be using the voice at one time.
Oh, no, I
Well,
don't
yeah,
know.
that's also true because it's a voice. You know what I'm saying? You can't use my voice. If we all can use the voice, then 4 people can. You know what I'm saying? We all can affect 4 people.
That's what I meant.
Okay. Yeah. No.
I forgot where we were.
The doctor is a sucker.
Doctor
Yo.
is a sucker.
Yeah.
The doctor.
traitor.
I mean, he should have known that they were still
You
gonna
would.
be
Exactly.
him and his wife anyway.
His wife was
But
already
he was
dead.
holding on. He was holding on hope though. You know what I'm saying?
You said the doctor. I was like the doc, but it's because during the movie I was trying so hard to remember all the characters' names that I low-key forgot who people were. Like,
Yeah.
so I was like, there was no doctors in that movie. But he was, yeah, he was a sucker.
Complete other note that like I haven't told you guys about, but I had a dream while I was fasting, and y'all don't know I was fasting to receive something from the Lord that I can perform. I was fasting and I received a dream that like took place on Halloween, and in the dream I saw it was really weird, but the craziest part about the dream was I saw 5 ships flying towards my house. I was standing on the back porch, and they were like military planes, and they were responding to a ship that was flying around in the sky, and it was like raining down fire. The scene where everything was being blown up, and that one ship like sent all of those. It was like multiple bombs down at one time, but like it was like 8 of them like swirling around. That's exactly what it looked like in my dream. Just to give you a visual. But it was like
Sorry to cut you off. I still don't understand why they sent the them there to basically die.
they were
It's a
getting.
setup. You
It
talking
was a
about the
setup.
Emperor?
It was a
Yeah,
whole
the
setup
Emperor.
from the
That's
jump.
Backdoored.
Emperor's a sucker.
Yeah, he backdoored.
Duh. You
Like
feel me? Yeah.
Here's the thing,
Batista
right?
and his peoples could have stayed there and did what they was doing.
But
the whole
bro,
time.
They're
They ain't
richer
gotta-
than the emperor.
Not
So
on-
for all we know, they was just like, yo, dude, we don't like them. They rising up. We finna take them out. And he was like, okay, I have no choice but to apply, but to obey. Otherwise,
Not only that, it's about optics, right? So like, just think, almost apply this to modern day, right? If you're the president of the United States, and I don't know, say like insurrection rose, and so like a civil war is on the brink or whatever, and it's like you take the people who are like causing hell for certain people in a certain area out, and you send other people in. But maybe you are profiting or benefiting from this insurrection. You want this. But the optic can't be, oh yeah, the emperor out here letting people get clapped up daily.
Right.
And so, you know what I mean? He sent House of Atreides and he backdoored them.
politics. I ain't
And
gonna lie.
I will say, I thought it was going to take longer for like, because I knew
Happen like
I knew
this?
the backdooring was happening. I was like, because he was like, you know,
were set
my
up to
man's was
fail.
letting him know like this is how much we need to have harvested by this benchmark. They didn't even get to the benchmark.
At
The
all.
homies was there for like 2 weeks. He said
2 weeks? I thought it was a couple of days.
it did feel like a couple of
Yeah.
days, but I was like maybe they skipped a few days. I was giving
Yeah.
them like some
Nah,
grace
it was going
days.
by fast
He was
and slow
like,
at the
yeah,
same
go,
time.
Yeah,
go
they
slide
don't like
on
give
them.
you timestamps, which is you
They
just
tried to kill
they-
my boy Paul first night.
That's a
was
fact.
just-
When he sent the thingamabobber.
Yeah. Which
I always wonder why it
weird.
stopped like right here. Did they not see him?
Yeah,
or?
they couldn't see him.
Yeah,
I think it senses motion more than anything.
yeah, because he was standing mad still.
And then also remember
It's
he was
some
in the
great
hologram.
shots in that movie though.
Yeah,
It's
he was in the
visually.
hologram.
It's some
Visually great.
great
It's probably
shots in
that
movie.
and the Green Knight. That
I wonder where they shot it at.
For me this year, that Dune, the Green Knight, and I will say, I say Dune and the Green Knight are 1A and 1B, and then I say Candyman's like number 2 of my like
Haven't
3
seen that either.
favorite visual, like the
Who is Paul,
cinematography.
by the way?
Timothy Chalamet.
You asking who the actor is?
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Timothy
Timothy
Chalamet.
Chalamet.
What he played in?
I told
Call
you
Me
that was
by Your
Timothy.
Name. That's his like most famous role. Little Women, Lady Bird. I'm gonna say a lot of movies you've probably
I
never
told
heard
you
of,
that
bro.
was his name.
He's big critical acclaim. He's the guy right now. He has another movie out called The French Dispatch. I have to go see that. I've been waiting 2 years for it.
He mad tall.
Yeah, he
Is
is.
he really?
Yeah,
You couldn't tell?
he's like,
Not tall.
How old is he?
he's like.
Yeah.
No, he's not 20. He's like,
young.
yeah, he's very
He's
young.
in
though.
his 20s.
Yeah,
I
he's
thought
young
he was
20s.
Teenager. He got a
He
baby
looked like one.
face.
That's why he keeps playing teenagers and things.
He like the dude.
He put on the
Teen
master
Wolf that was
class
in the
though.
Maze Runner.
He's 25.
Dylan O'Brien?
Yeah.
Nah.
He is a little younger in the face than Dylan O'Brien. But
Oh no, he definitely is younger in the face. I'm
And
just
Dylan
mean like
O'Brien's
Dylan
average
O'Brien.
height.
Like even though he's like in his late 20s, he doesn't look
yeah,
like he's.
Timothy Chalamet's 25.
It doesn't look.
I would not have that.
9'6", 9'6".
I knew he was older than me because
I told you to have a girl.
Oh,
I was like, they out here breeding? Like,
she said only girls too. It's like, bro, I only have.
I
one
can't
child,
control
man.
that, sis. Like, I don't know what you want me to do.
I mean, I
they
could
had-
kill
they had
him,
been
but-
purposely mixing the bloodlines for all this time.
bro, when
because
she said that, I was like, that sounds nasty.
It does.
That sounds
It was intentional.
She out here
sounds
hoeing-
real
she
incestuous.
hoeing her people so they can.
She said all that talent wasted on a man. I was like, yo, what?
Actually,
Why you so
it was a funny bar, but then I was
Fact.
like, oh, once you find out that the voice is easier to work and all that with a woman, then I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
How? It's 10:10.
We started at 8:40.
I thought you said 8:33.
Oh.
Either way,
I thought it was 40.
I was about to say something that was like gonna be a transition into the outro, but can't remember. Oh well, yeah. Follow me, social media, Instagram, thevillain.5390, Twitter at RIP Lyons, TikTok the Goon of June. Listen to all my music. Look up Saint Even.
It's in the description.
You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Ashton Gates with 2 S's.
You can follow me on Instagram at _skip to my shoe and Twitter at _skip to my shoe.
And you can follow the podcast on Instagram at YSO Podcast and at Twitter at YSO_podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube page, You Speak Up Podcast. Subscribe to us on wherever you can stream podcasts, whether that's Spotify or Deezer or Apple Podcasts. You Speak Up Podcast. And once again, don't know what language that was. Did any of y'all catch?
It's getting cold. Get a hoodie.
Yeah, bye.
It is getting cold. Well, it's getting cold here. It's been cold other places, but yes, it's
know,
cold.
close
It's,
to the
winter's
equator.
coming. The Farmer's Almanac says we're in for a doozy. I'm just saying that. I haven't read it. I don't know what the Farmer's Almanac is
I was
saying.
about to say, when did they
But
release them?
also, the Farmer's Almanac said that last year's winter was going to be one of the harshest ever, and it was not that brick. So, Farmer's Almanac looking a little weird right now. These farmers ain't almanacking right. And yeah, with that being said, you already know who we are. It's YSO.
Turn the notification bell on.
Comment.
RP Money.
Like the video.
Subscribe, yes.
Shout out to Letter M getting signed to 300.
Big facts.
Happy birthday, my boy Huss. You already know, man.
Ding.
We out of here.
That's it.
Don't honk at people in traffic.
Do. Please do.
Don't.
Only if they're wrong, though. Don't do it if you're just a bad person.
But that's what I was talking. I was just talking about people honking
Okay.
for like little things.
Yeah, if you're a horrible person, don't do it. But if they're a horrible person, they don't know they're a horrible person.
I know some people who do.
Some people do. Ask around, and they'll tell you.
No, they won't.
Okay.